Welcome to the Building Success Coffee Break business information session that we have. I'm Shirley Jump, the co-founder of the Building Success Summit, and these little tidbits are to give you a taste of what we're going to have at the Building Success Summit, April 14th to 16th at the Raymond James Stadium. Today, we have Tim Yurek from Tier 1 Capital, who is going to talk to us about finding more cash in your business, which is something I think we can all use. Thanks so much for being here, Tim.
Well, thank you, Shirley. It's my pleasure.
And Tim, I got to jump in here, man. So Tommy Whitehead, co-founder of the summit. I had the personal pleasure of having you on one of my financial panels in Arizona, and I had a lot of fun. I found that I had to kind of stop myself from asking too many questions of you so that I could get the other panelists time to speak, but we connected very well. So, one thing that resonated with me, and I have a question for you directly, is cash flow. That's one of the biggest challenges for any small business, right? And so, Tim, can you tell us some tips or tricks or your thoughts on cash flow and what people can expect to hear from you at the summit about cash flow?
Well, Tommy, we've done a lot of research. And so according to Intuit, 61% of small business owners struggle with chronic or cyclical cash flow problems. And 69% of business owners either lose sleep or sleep less due to cash flow concerns. Now, here's what I've learned in 40 years of working with small business owners. All of these cash flow issues are self-inflicted. You see, we've been trained by the banks, the financial institutions, our vendors, all the people we're dealing with, the large corporations. We've been trained by them to use money in a way that benefits them to our detriment. So then when we have a crisis or an emergency, or worse yet, when there's an opportunity, we can't take advantage of it because we've given up control of our cash flow. So what do we have to do? We have to go hat in hand and go to the bank and ask for permission to borrow some of their money.
Which is kind of our money, isn't it?
Well, it definitely is. Think about it. Banks don't manufacture anything. Their inventory is depositors' money. So they turn over their inventory by making loans. And those loans are very profitable for them.
So what are some of the strategies that you teach just in broad strokes to business owners to kind of keep the cash in their business, not necessarily in the bank's hands?
Well, great question, Shirley. So the first is we work so darn hard to generate profits. So the first rule is stop giving them away. And by that, I mean, how we're using our money is literally making us dependent on the banks. So what we say is stop giving it away, because it's not what you buy, it's how you pay for it that is going to make a significant difference for you, your family, and your business. And when I found this out, it was a game changer, not only for me, but for all of my clients that I've been dealing with, because we literally found the money that was hidden in plain sight. It was literally in their cash flow. And we exposed that money, and all of a sudden now their situation changed dramatically, almost overnight.
Now, Tim, this type of thing, a lot of people think you have to have a lot of money to hire a consultant like you, that you have to be the $100 million business and you have to have the office in the downtown tower. That's not your specialty, is it? Your specialty is really the backbone of America, that 80% of small businesses.
Well, yeah, exactly. And the reality is we don't charge to find the money. Now, it's going to take time on your part to share with us some financial information. But once we have that and we ask you some questions as to how you're using your money, then we can come back probably within 3 or 4 days with some significant recommendations that are, and they're really not hard to implement. Again, you just have to stop giving away control of your money. And when you do that, all of a sudden, the money just starts piling up inside your business or inside your personal account.
And then you're not getting into more debt and you're just helping your business grow, which is always a positive thing.
Well, it's a good point, Shirley, because here's the thing. You are getting into more debt, but here's the issue. We advocate that you borrow from yourself rather than going to the bank. And think about this. This is not a small distinction. When you go to the bank, you're seeking permission. When you're borrowing against your own money, you're giving an order. That's not a small distinction. And that's control. And that's what we advocate for our business owner clients, putting them in control of their cash flow and their money. We have this saying, whoever controls your cash flow controls your life. Better it be you so that it's an easier and better life.
So Tim, I've noticed this with financial professionals such as yourself, with other financial professionals. You can help a client. You aren't going to make a client feel bad or embarrassed about what they've done in the past. You're there to help them to the next level, whether it's reinvesting their money, whatever that is. But what would you say to that business owner that's just like embarrassed to talk about their finances? You know, how do you guide them to get past that and say, hey, look, I'm Tim and I'm a good guy and I'm just going to teach you about stuff. This isn't a shame session. Like, how do you help that small business overcome that fear?
Yeah, that's a great point. Well, first of all, Tommy, think of it this way. It's nobody's fault that you're in this situation if you're having a cash flow issue. Now, we are led to believe that the reason we're in that position is because we don't make enough revenue or we don't make enough money. But the reality is, it's how we're using our money that's creating the problem. So what we do is we view things through the lens of you being in control of your cash flow and your money. And when you look at things through that lens, the decisions are made with significantly greater clarity because it's real simple. If I do this strategy, will I be in control of my cash flow and my money? No. Okay, well, what if I do this strategy? Will I be in control of my cash flow and my money? Yes. All right, I'll choose option B. And it's really that simple.
And then you can make more effective decisions as a business owner as well, because you're the one in control. You're not waiting for somebody else to give you a go ahead.
Absolutely, Shirley. And that's the key. Listen, we all went into business to be in control of our own destiny. And everything's going along swimmingly well until we have to go to the bank. And when we go to the bank, we don't sign once from our business perspective. The banker also slides another paper in front of us where we have to make that personal guarantee. And that should be, you know, the alarm bell that goes off that says, oh, wait a second, I'm no longer in control. When you have to sign that personal guarantee. And here's the deal. If you're in control of your money and you're in control of this finance function, all of a sudden, you don't have to ask permission. You don't have to pledge your assets. It's already there. It's a self-contained system.
Awesome. So what are some of the things people are going to learn from you at the Building Success Summit?
We're going to look at 6 major areas where people are literally giving away control of their hard-earned cash flow and profits. And then it's real simple. We have a 4-step process. The first is we identify where you're giving up control of your money. And, you know, Tommy, to your point, this is not a shame session. This is just to say, hey, here's where you're giving up control of your money. The second step is the hardest step. You got to stop doing what you've been doing. And spoiler alert, it's conventional wisdom. It's what everybody else is doing. It's what those so-called financial professionals are recommending. But you're no longer in control when you're implementing those strategies. So the first step is to identify. We do that with 100% success rate. The second step is the hardest. You got to stop doing what you're doing. The third step is to save your money in a place where you have complete liquidity, use, and control. And then the fourth step is literally where the magic happens. When you build up this pile of capital, then you can borrow against yourself, your own assets, and pay interest back to yourself. And that's, again, where the magic happens. Because think about it. We finance everything we buy. By that, I mean, we're either going to borrow money and pay interest or pay cash and therefore give up interest that we could have earned. Well, if you're going to finance everything you buy anyway, better it be self-financed so that you could make the interest that the bank would have made.
Well, Tim, we are very excited to hear from you. So Tim's going to be at the Building Success Summit April 14th through 16th. He is going to be leading a workshop teaching you how you can make that capital work for yourself instead of giving it over to the bank. And he's also going to be on some financial panels, giving us tidbits and other education and advice. Tim, pleasure to have you here today. We are so excited to see you down here in Florida. It's not very long. You get to come enjoy some sunshine and help us make our businesses more profitable.
Well, we are certainly looking forward to it, and also looking forward to helping people to solve this huge issue for them.
Excellent.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. See you in April.